last episode, we talked about the growth of Russia. And this episode, we're going to talk about the unification of Japan. Unification of Japan. Alright, so let's get into it. Okay, my name is Sean and let's get started. Alright, now that you saw my nose, let's get started on our topic for today, the unification of Japan. Like here. And always, let's start by a question from the book. Wrong page. Found it. Do you know an ordinary or poor person who became a ruler in your country? Put your answer in the comments below or just email me directly. Alright, let's get started. Right, so how did the unification of Japan work? But first, before we need to know how it happened, we need to know about the feudalism system of the unification of Japan. If you remember from our season 2 about the Middle Ages, you might know what a good idea about what the feudalism of Japan might look like, but it's completely different from the Middle Ages that we've seen so far. Here, I'll draw it for you. Alright. Firstly, for the Japan, there are just four kind of triangles, part of the triangle, but there are 8. So let's see. Do this half. All right. Let's just start at the top. The top is the emperor. The emperor was the first person who got the political power of Japan, but then later it slowly lost its political power, and then it just became a mere figurehead. People just worship it. That's just all of it has. All right, next is the shogun. After the emperor lost his power, the shogun got the political power, but it also lost that power too. And also they controlled Japan for a very long time, 2 centuries to be exact, from the 11,000s to the 13,000s. Next on our list is a daimyo. No, not D&D dice. Daimyo. Alright, so the daimyo got the power for the rest of the time of Japan after the shogun lost that power. The daimyo control large territories of Japan. These little different colored of Japan is one of the examples of what daimyos ruled. We're gonna get into that later. Alright, next are the knights of Japan. Samurai. Hoya! Samurai. They're like the knights of Japan. And, they do have a master, and they follow a kind of code called Bushido. Bushido means the way of the warrior. Way of the warrior. Oh, here, I'll read it. Bushido. Bushido is just a kind of book that tells the set of rules to how to become samurai. The most important rule for samurai is to be loyal to its master. Here. Ooh, good thing I have sunglasses. Alright, next one is the Ronin. The Ronin are supposed to be a part of the samurai. They're supposed to be 7, but the Ronin are different from the samurai. They used to have a master, but then that master was gone or killed. So they're samurais with no master. Usually when a samurai immediately becomes a Ronin, they would do a suicide. But some of them just go out and do other things like crime. Oh, that's not good. Alright, next on our list, you might guess it, the peasants. Peasants. The peasants are just like the poor people, and it makes up 90% of Japan. 90% of Japan, so there are a lot of them. The 90% also includes their cousins called the serfs. Regular peasants are just farmers, not slaves, but their cousins, the serfs, are slaves and peasants. Well, what next? The crafters, the craftspeople. The craftspeople are the guys who make paper, swords, shields, grain, well, all of that stuff. And now last on the bottom is very unusual to you, and also me, the merchants. The merchants are considered to be at the bottom of the feudalism chart because, well, because it does nothing else but just sell the items that the craftspeople made. Even though they are rich and plentiful and wealthy, they still are at the bottom. And then slowly they'll go rise up their ranks and even outdo the emperor. I'm not kidding. Alright. Let's get started on our story. Alright, today we're going to talk about a daimyo, 2 daimyos to be exact. So let's get started. The daimyo that we're going to talk about right now is Oda Nobunaga. Oda Nobunaga was a daimyo, and he controlled a lot of territory, the green territory in fact, and he controlled central Japan, and he lived in Owari. Here, I'll write his name. Oda Nobunaga. Right here. Oda Nobunaga. Nobunaga was the first daimyo to buy a lot of European guns. Well, and with that new weapon for the Japanese, he was able to conquer a lot of land, and he was able to get a lot of the land. It's in green color, alright? So he started from here and then he expanded it. Oda Nobunaga had a servant called Toyotomi Hideyoshi. Here, I'll write his name too. I already used that. Toyotomi Hideyoshi. You might be familiar with it. Toyotomi Hideyoshi. Toyotomi Hideyoshi was the servant of Oda Nobunaga, and he was Oda Nobunaga's sandal bearer. That means he takes care of his sandals. One day, Oda Nobunaga got out of his bed and put on his sandals. He realized that they were warm. And then the next night, he peeked out and he saw Toyotomi Hideyoshi hugging it. And this earned Toyotomi the trust of Oda Nobunaga. So Oda Nobunaga made Toyotomi a shogun. You might say that Toyotomi Hideyoshi got a higher rank than the daimyo, Oda Nobunaga. But later, after the shogun lost power, they switched. Alright. So he's still lower. And Oda Nobunaga's dream and goal was to conquer all of Japan. There's also an island up here. But he died in 1582 before he could achieve it. So Toyotomi Hideyoshi succeeded Oda Nobunaga and he became daimyo. That's our next daimyo on our list. And then he succeeded conquering all of Japan and unifying it in just 8 years. But after that 8 years, his daimyos in the country will be said to him and promised him that they will be loyal to him. Toyotomi Hideyoshi didn't just want Japan to be 4 islands. He wanted it to be an empire, a nation spread from Japan all the way to India in Asia. So he sent out 800 warships, including 100,000 soldiers, probably samurai, to to get Asia all the way to India. So he first had to go to my country, Korea. And find out what will happen next in our next unit. To be continued. See you then. Shanhan out. Oh, wait a minute. And also, before we go, I don't want to mess this up, but here's a clue. Warships. Navy. See you then. Shanhan out. Oh, it's you. Alright, I just finished my quiz and let's get started on our writing. Where did I put that? Oh, here it is. What did you learn about Japanese history? Well, I learned that Japanese history is a history that kind of sounds like the European Middle Ages. It has the feudalism system. Emperor, shogun, daimyo, samurai, ronin, peasants, craftspeople, and merchants. Also, it contained the two most famous daimyos of that time. Oda Nobunaga, who was succeeded by the next daimyo, Toyotomi Hideyoshi. Also, there was a traditional religion and the oldest religion in Japan called Shinto. Alright, here it is. Shinto. Shinto is the oldest religion of Japan and it is the main religion of Japan. That's why I said traditional. It is a religion that is based on spirits controlling nature. They make humans, they make the aurora borealis, other natural phenomena. Well, they make trees, they make clouds, they make rainfall, they make cats, dogs, and anything that's natural, not man-made. They even made the Earth, the solar system. All the universe to be exact. Alright, let's skip that part and let's get back to our answer. The samurai, I also learned that the samurai and the ronin, samurai are warriors who have masters and ronin are samurai but with no masters, once had a master but got lost, follow a set of rules called bushido, meaning the way of the warrior. And if you're wondering what Shinto means, it means the way of the gods. Oh, and then the emperor is just a figurehead and he say that he's the son of the god or goddess. Alright, next question. Do you know an ordinary or poor person who became a ruler in your country? Well, there's no poor person who became a ruler in Korea, but this reminds me of a scientist who was poor but then was promoted by the king, King Sejong, to become the scientist of his court. You might know, if you remember our episode on the Joseon Dynasty in our season 2 Middle Ages, you might know who this guy is. He's Chang Yong-sil. How can I forget that? He's one of my heroes, Chang Yong-sil. He was the greatest scientist of his time, and he worked for King Sejong, and he was promoted from poor to a high scientist. He also made the advanced water clock of his time. Let me repeat that name again. Chang Yong-sil. Alright, that's it for us. Well, I'll see you in the extra history video. See you then. Dun 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 dun. Welcome to Extra History. Alright, today's Extra History is gonna be fabulous and it's related to movies of ninjas. Let's get started. So today we're gonna talk about what is the difference between a samurai and what is a samurai? And what is the difference of a ninja from a samurai? And what is a ninja? Oh yeah! Ninja. Oops. Ninja. Alright, what are the differences of a samurai and a ninja? And what are they? Well, let's start with samurai. Alright, samurais are, if you remember from our explaining video of this video, you might know what a samurai is. They're the warriors of Japan. And well, they wear special armor, and I even once wore that special armor. Not exactly so, but still. And I also went to a samurai museum too. And also samurais also have swords. There are two types. One is long, fing, and the other is short, feng, like a dagger, only a bit longer. Alright, and a ninjas I used to think aren't real, but they are. Long ago, there were some spies as ninjas, and also their clothing was black, and I accidentally used pink. Well, still, they all were also, like in the movies, fighting people with those shang and the sword and stuff, but still, they're less violent. And also, sometimes ninjas were Buddhists, or even just monks. I'm not even kidding, guys. Well, what are the differences between samurai and ninja? Well, first I'll tell you the similarities. They both got swords. They all got warrior training, and also, but the differences are, the samurai follow a set of rules called bushido, while the ninjas didn't follow the bushido. They just were loyal to their master and just told that whatever the master told them to do, well, they just do it. And also help their master too. The samurai has 2 swords, but the ninjas has only 1. Also, they have an additional weapon that you might know as the pointy thing. What was that called again? The flyer. That's what I call it. Alright, now that we get the basic differences of the ninja and the samurai, let's get into the unbasics. Right, samurais have armor, and also sometimes they have a plate mask. The ninja leave the scene, so they just wear clothing. I have a ninja costume at home, and I have really worn it. I also have a plastic sword and also that flinger, but I left it home. Well, you can't always win. Well, that's basically it about the samurai and ninja. Oh, and also, if you want to learn more about the samurai and ninja, you should visit my future website if I was able to make one. Well, I'll see you then. Shinhan, out. This video was made by me. It was sponsored by me. Your host was me, Shinhan. This drawing of these maps were done by me. This note that you saw on the beginning of the video was written and drawn by me. The maps, also I said earlier, is drawn by me. Well, the editing for this video was done by Villo, an app, and also the writing on this window was done by me, and also with the help of my YouTube channel, Hanjin Chen, I will make videos for probably until I'm an adult. Well, let's see. I'm not so for sure, but let's get started. For that, we're just in the beginning. Oh, and also, please subscribe to my channel, hit the bell button, and also hit the like button so you don't miss any of my videos. And also, if I do ask a question, please answer them in my email or just comment me right there. And my email is 20jur@naver.com. Oh, and also today's question is, drumroll please. Who unified all of Japan and tried to conquer Korea but never did? Is it A, Oda Nobunaga, B, Totomi Hideyoshi, or C, sumo wrestling? Yeah! I'll see you then.